So let's begin. Laying on the front, bring your forearms up alongside your chest and push down into the ground through your forearms and elbows, bringing your chin and your chest up. Come into Sphinx pose. Keeping your chin and your chest raised up if you can. Bring your right hand in underneath your shoulder. Straighten your right arm. So you're twisting to look up over your right shoulder. And then allow your right arm to bend. Bring your forearm back down to the ground. Bring your left hand in under your shoulder and straighten your left arm. So you're twisting to look up over your left shoulder. And then allow your left arm to bend. Bring your forearm back down to the ground. Push back up to Sphinx. Relax your chest down to the ground. Bring your hands in underneath your chest and push up. Go into Cobra. Take your weight back and sit onto your heels. Stretch out in front with your fingers. And then bring your chest forward. Draw your hands in underneath your shoulders. Raise your right leg out behind, pointing your toes, straightening your leg as much as you can. Then allow the knee to bend, bring it in and forward, up towards the back of the right elbow. And lower the knee down to the ground towards the wrist. Bring it back up to the elbow. And then reach out behind with your toes. Point your toes, straighten your leg as much as you can. And then bring your right knee back down to the ground. Stretch your left leg out, point the toes, keep the leg as straight as you can. And then bend the knee, bring it in. Up towards the back of the left elbow. Lower the knee down to the wrist. Back up to the elbow again. And extend your foot out behind, point the toes, straighten the leg. And then lower the left knee down. Bring your toes together, take your knees out to the edges of the mat and sit back onto your heels. Let your chest and your shoulders sink down towards the ground. Bring your weight forward. Draw your hands in, back underneath your shoulders, keeping your knees wide. Lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. and lower back down. Raise your left arm up. And then lower the left arm down. Curl your toes under. Push your hips up and straighten your legs. So we're coming to downward facing dog. Bring your chest forward, staying on the balls of the feet. Let your hips sink down. Raise your chin and your chest up. And then raise your hips back up. Come into downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to the front of the mat. Come into forward fold. Take an inhale, raise your arms up. Lower them down to shoulder height. Palms facing forward, pull back across your chest. Take a nice big back bend. And stretch up to the ceiling. Take an inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise your arms up. Interlace your fingers, take a side bend over to the left. Back to the centre. And over to the right. And back to the centre. Release the grip on your fingers. Bring your feet in closer together. You can inhale and exhale, fold forward. Allow your knees to bend. Bring your arms up behind the back of your hips. Reaching up with your hands. Keeping your gaze looking forward or to the ground in front of you. And sweep your arms forward, raising them up to about 45 degrees so you're coming to chair. Lower your arms back down, sweep them up behind the hips, look down towards your feet, and reach up to the sky with your fingers. And then sweep your arms forward, raising them back up to 45 degrees to chair. And lower your arms down so your fingers are pointing out in front. Keep your left arm facing forward. Turn your right arm back so you're looking back over your right shoulder. And bring your right arm forward. Take your left arm back so you're looking back over your left shoulder. And then bring your left arm forward. Straighten your legs, reach up with your fingers. Take an inhale and exhale, fold forward. Take a step back on your right leg. Coming onto the heel, turning the toes out. Push down with your left foot to bring your body up. Raising your arms up to warrior one. Turn your chest and shoulders to the long side of the mat. Lower your arms down to shoulder height. And look out over your left hand in warrior two. Bring your left arm down onto your left thigh. Reach over with the right hand, come into side angle. Then reach up with the right hand. Bring the left arm up so your arms are about shoulder width apart. And then hinge over to the left, stretching out with your fingers. Let your left arm come down. You can either put it back on the thigh, but if you can, reach down to the ground behind your left foot, stretching over again to extended side angle. Then bring your right hand down onto your hip. Push down with your left foot, bringing your hand up. Turn your palm back and reach back to reverse warrior. And raise both arms up. Turn your chest and shoulders, and then lower your arms down to the ground, taking your right foot onto the ball of the foot, and step up to forward fold. Step back on the left foot now, turning your toes out, coming onto the heel. Raise your body up and reach up towards the ceiling with your hands, coming to warrior one. And turn your chest and shoulders to the long side of the mat. Lower your arms down to shoulder height. Palms facing down, looking out over your right hand. Going to warrior two. Let your right arm come down onto your thigh. Reach up and stretch over with your left hand. Inside angle. Reach up to the sky with your left hand. Bring the right hand up to join it so your arms are shoulder width apart, and then hinge over the right thigh, stretching out with both hands. And bring your right arm down onto your thigh, or if you can, stretch down to the ground behind your right foot. Stretch over again with your left hand in extended side angle. Then lower your left hand down. Raise your right arm up, and as you do, turn the palm to face backwards. and stretch back to reverse warrior. And bring both arms up, turn your chest and shoulders, and lower your hands down to the ground. Turn your left foot onto the ball of the foot. And step up to forward fold. Take an inhale, raise your arms up. Bring your palms together, take a gentle back bend. Reach up to the ceiling, take an inhale, and exhale, fold forward. Step back on the left foot, and then on the right, push your hips up. Come into downward facing dog. And bring your chest forward to plank. And slowly lower your chest down to the ground. Feet onto the insteps. And push up to cobra. Keeping your chin and your chest raised up. Bend your knees. And squeeze your heels in towards your buttocks. And then lower back down. Curl your toes under, raise your hips up. Coming back to downward facing dog. Raise your left leg up. And lower the leg down. Bend the knee, bring the shin through and place it down the centre of the mat. Take your right foot onto the instep, right knee down on the mat. And bring your hands in underneath your shoulders like you would in a cobra, lifting your chest up. And if you can, raise your arms up off the ground. Reach up to the ceiling or the sky. And lower your arms back down. Turn your right foot onto the ball of the foot, lift the knee so you've got space to bring your left foot back and your back in downward facing dog. Bring your chest forward to plank. Slowly lower down to the mat. Feet onto the insteps and push up to cobra. Bend your knees, bring your feet up and squeeze your heels in towards your buttocks. Then lower your feet back down. Back onto the balls of the feet, push back up to downward facing dog. Raise your right leg up. And lower down, bending your knee. Bring your knee and your shin through to the centre of the mat. Place your left knee down and come on to the instep with the foot. Bring your hands in underneath your shoulders, lift your body up, and if you can, raise the hands up towards the ceiling. And lower your hands back down to the mat. Turn your left foot onto the ball of the foot, lift the knee. So you've got space to bring your right leg through. And we're back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, lower your knees down. Sit back onto your heels and stretch out with your hands in front. Bring your chest forward. Draw your hands in underneath your shoulders. And let your belly sink down. Raise your chin up. And bring your chin in and arch your back. As you breathe in, come to cow. Dropping your belly down, raising your chin. And as you breathe out, arch your back and bring your chin in. Once more, breathe into cow. And breathe out to cat. And then sit back onto your heels. Stretch out with your fingers in front. And bring your chest forward. Walk your hands back towards your knees. And come to seated with your feet out in front. Bring your right foot into the side of the thigh. Left foot stretched out in front with the toes pointing up. Bring your hands alongside your hips. Lift your chest up. And take an inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Take an inhale, raise your arms up. And turn your chest round to the right. Bring your left hand down onto your thigh, right hand down behind your back. Turn your palm up and then reach up and stretch over with the right hand. Take your left hand away from your foot. Bring it over towards the right knee and stretch again with your arm over your head. Then reach up and lower your right hand down to the ground behind your back. Twist to look back over your right shoulder. Relax to bring your body forward. Raise both arms up. Take an inhale and exhale, fold forward. Take an inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale, lower down to the sides. Bring your left foot in, take your right leg out in front. Toes pointing up, bring your hands alongside your hips again. Lift your chest to straighten your spine. Take an inhale and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise your arms up. And turn your chest round to the left, bringing your right hand down onto the thigh, left hand down behind your back, and then turn your left hand up. Stretch up and over. And take your right hand away from your foot or ankle, reach over towards the left knee and stretch again with the left hand. And reach up with the left hand. Bring it down behind the back and twist to look back over your left shoulder. Relax to come forward. Raise both arms up, take an inhale and exhale, fold forward. And take an inhale, raise your arms up. Take both feet out in front, feet together with your toes pointing up. Take an inhale here. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale, lower down.